Let me tell you something, Pack Nation. I had been sitting on this story for 2 days, 2 full days. I tried to be a bigger person. I tried to find it in myself to look at this with some class, some maturity, some basic human decency. I failed. I failed completely, and I feel absolutely fantastic about it. The Chicago Bears, the franchise that has played in that city since 1921, have spent 6 years searching for a new stadium, and the answer they have landed on is Indiana. Indiana. Not a gleaming dome in the city of Chicago. Not a modern facility in Arlington Heights, which is still, last time I checked, located in the state of Illinois. Hammond, Indiana. Wolf Lake, Northwest Indiana, right across the state line. The Chicago Bears. Pack Nation, I am saying the name slowly because I need you to feel it. The Chicago Bears potentially playing their home games in a different state because the Illinois legislature cannot pass a property tax bill. Stay with me. I need you to understand the full scope of this. The state of Illinois, a state that is historically, documentably, almost impressively bad at fiscal responsibility, looked at an NFL franchise and said, we are going to pass. We would rather let the team leave than handle the paperwork. Illinois said no to a sports deal. Illinois, a state that spent years running a racetrack on public incentives until it fell apart anyway, that state, that one, looked at the Chicago Bears and said, you know what? Not today. Do you understand what it takes to get turned down by Illinois on a stadium subsidy? That is a level of organizational dysfunction so thorough, so complete, so deeply embedded in the culture of that franchise, it belongs in a museum. Chapter 12 of the textbook, How to Make Illinois Say No to Handing You Money. Bears logo on the cover. Required reading at every business school in the country. Here is the part that should embarrass everybody involved. The Bears already own the land in Arlington Heights. They bought the old Arlington International Racecourse, 326 acres. The property is theirs, paid for. All the Illinois legislature had to do was pass the pilot legislation, property tax certainty. Show up, vote, go home. That is the entire task. And Springfield didn't. Canceled the hearing, looked at the calendar, checked their phones, let the window close. Meanwhile, Indiana passed their stadium bill unanimously. In February, the House Ways and Means Committee, 24-0. Governor Braun signed it before the month was out. They built the Northwest Indiana Stadium Authority, locked in tax certainty, mapped out 340 acres at Wolf Lake, and essentially stood outside the Bears facility, holding a sign that said, please come solve our revenue problem. And the Bears said, you know what? That sounds like a fair deal. Are you hearing this, Pack Nation? The state of Indiana, whose prior contribution to professional football history was the Hammond Pros, who folded in 1926, out-organized, outworked, and outmotivated the state that has hosted this franchise for over a century. That happened in real life in 2026. And now Chairman George McCaskey is calling Hammond a Chicago suburb. He is in press appearances telling Bears fans, don't panic, it'll feel like home. You'll barely notice. He is looking people in the eye and saying, Indiana is basically Illinois. The chairman of the Chicago Bears is explaining to his own fan base that Indiana is basically Illinois. After 6 years of this, after 105 years in Chicago, that is where this franchise has landed. And here is what makes this a true masterpiece. The Bears are still paying off Soldier Field. The 2003 renovation, over $500 million in debt, still on the books for a stadium they are desperately trying to leave. They owe money on a building they cannot wait to get out of. That is the Chicago Bears experience. That is the product Caleb Williams signed up for. A team with a stadium they cannot afford, a city that will not help them leave it, and a whole other state waving from across the border saying, "Come on over, we will handle it." Am I crazy, Pack Nation? Am I the only one seeing all of this at the same time?
And here is the detail that genuinely made me fall out of my chair. The Wolf Lake site, the proposed home of this beautiful new Bears stadium in Hammond, Indiana. You ready for this? Wolf Lake straddles the state line, half in Indiana, half on the southeast side of Chicago. They are going to build an NFL stadium with 1 foot in each state, and the city of Chicago still cannot claim it, and the state of Illinois still will not pay for it. That is not a sports story. That is a geography joke. That is God and a surveyor conspiring against one franchise specifically. I am sorry. I am genuinely sorry, but that is funny. Now, here is the Packers angle, and I promise you there is one, because everything on this show filters through one lens. What does this mean for Green Bay? While the Chicago Bears has spent 6 years arguing about zip codes and property tax legislation, and whether Hammond is technically a suburb, what have the Green Bay Packers been doing? Building, quietly, consistently, for real. Jordan Love is locked in, committed, growing, the real deal. The receiver room is loaded. The defensive rebuild under Jonathan Gannon is real, and it is happening right now. Green Bay is putting together a genuine football program, while Chicago is figuring out which state to put their program in. The NFC North right now is the Green Bay Packers and 3 other teams trying to figure out what they are. Detroit, I respect. We will get there. Minnesota is interesting. But Chicago has a magical 2025 season in the rearview, a new head coach in Ben Johnson, a franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams learning a new offense, and an ownership group in the middle of the most expensive real estate negotiation in NFL history. That is an enormous amount of noise for a young quarterback to block out. I almost feel bad. Almost. And here is the thing about noise. The Packers do not generate any. The Packers are in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where they have always been, where they will always be, because the community owns this team. $32 a share. I have got 4 shares. I take that with complete seriousness. The people of this state own the Green Bay Packers, and nobody on earth moves a community-owned team to Indiana. It is not a thing that can happen. It is not even a thought that can form in someone's head. Nobody in Green Bay is holding press conferences saying, "Good news, Pack Nation. We found the great suburb. We are comfortable either way. We just need the legislature to act." No, none of that. Green Bay is Green Bay, now and forever. End of conversation. George McCaskey is going to be standing in that brand new dome stadium on Wolf Lake in 2030, looking out at the view and telling people, "See, just like home." And Bears fans are going to be in those seats 40 minutes outside Chicago going, "This does not feel like home. This feels like a Marriott near an exit ramp. This feels like something I have to explain at Thanksgiving." But I will give them one thing. One, the new building will be spectacular. A world-class dome, climate-controlled, modern, beautiful probably. And I will genuinely enjoy watching the Green Bay Packers walk into that building.
enjoy the Love's Prime, and remind the Chicago Bears that it does not matter how nice the stadium is. You still have to play the game inside it. And the game, Pack Nation, the actual football, is ours. While the Bears look for a zip code, we are building a dynasty. That is the difference. That is why you are a Packers fan. That is why you wake up on Sunday in green and gold and not in whatever shade of defeated navy blue they're selling in the gift shop off Exit 12 in Hammond, Indiana. That is Pack Nation. If this show has given you even 30 seconds of genuine joy watching a franchise come apart in slow motion, subscribe. Leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Tell everybody you know. Tell a Bears fan especially. Tell them Big Sal said, good luck finding the place on a map. We are at Let Me Tell You Something on the Packernet Podcast Network. And to the Chicago Bears, wherever you end up playing football, we will see you on the schedule. It doesn't matter which state you call home. Pack Nation, let's go.